God and Bourbon, where we sit down, pour something worth talking about, and open up the Word of God. I'm Travis.
And I'm Lee.
Hey, tonight we're talking about brotherhood, fellowship, real life, real miles, real bonds, getting stronger while you walk them out together.
Yeah, so unfortunately, with everything going on, hadn't been able to talk about this, but about 3 weeks ago now, I spent about 2 days on the Tennessee Whiskey Trail. So Travis had some ministry stuff that he had to do back here in Georgia, so he was able to roll in on day 2, but we did end up hitting some legendary spots. We found some real honey holes and came back reminded that God never meant for us to do this life alone.
You know what? Before we get into the pour, quick reminder, this podcast, this video is made possible by Reverend Frank Webb Ministries of Georgia. We are a nonprofit. We do rely on donations. As much as I hate asking people for money, Lee, I am the world's worst about saying, I'm not going to get up here and tell you got to give 10% and all this kind of mess. I don't believe in 10%. That is not the New Testament. That's the Old Testament. God tells Paul basically in the New Testament that we're to supply the storehouse. So when people are in need, they're to come to the storehouse and we're supposed to give out. And that's what this ministry is about. So what we're asking is if that these episodes encourage you, strengthens your walk, and help you disciple someone else, prayerfully consider giving. And you can go to revfrankwebb.org and it'll be like somewhere right here. And there's a QR code. You can scan it, takes you directly to the website. Just pause the video, scan it. And I don't care if it's $5 or it's $500
or a dollar.
or a dollar. Every gift keeps us creating this content, keeping this ministry going.
Yes. And so with that, let's pour into some of this Bell Mead. So this Bell Mead came from Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery up in Nashville, Tennessee. And let's start talking about the Tennessee Whiskey Trail.
Hey, I'm down. You know what? We're tasting this Bell Mead like you talked about. It's a classic. It's a little bit reliable. It's always solid. And it's kind of like a good brother who shows up when it counts.
That's right. So, day one. Day one, I ended up going a little solo. So, started out at George Dickel.
Hold on, let me stop you right. You wasn't solo. You was with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not, his name that shall not be named, our executive producer.
Yes. So I didn't go solo. But as far as God and Bourbon, I was solo. So that the first day started with an early morning drive up. And we ended up, at the first stop was George Dickel. And beautiful location in a hollow. And just a very classic old vintage distillery. And then we ended up in at Uncle Dickel.
Uncle Dickel. Uncle Nearest.
Yes. And then we ended up at Uncle Nearest. And then we finished out our day at Jack Daniel's, which is just a classic, just great tour. You just cannot miss going to Jack Daniel's at least once in your life, especially if you love American whiskey. So, and then we ended up a couple of smaller spots, I'll call honey holes, when we were doing our bourbon hunting that we had to do while we were up there. So we did end up finding some allocated bottles, and that we can't get back here in Northeast Georgia. And if you can get it, you're paying secondary plus prices for a lot of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. So we ended up having some good drives, some good pours, and but there was something that was missing.
What was that?
Obviously, the other person in God and Bourbon.
So on day 2, I met up with y'all at Chattanooga Whiskey. Me and another guy from our small group. We decided, I don't know if his name can be mentioned or not. He ain't gave us permission yet, so we're not going to do it. But he came by, picked me up, and he was already going that way, and he used to live in that area. And that's when it got really good, Lee. I mean, at Chattanooga Whiskey, it got good because you know what? The brotherhood was back together.
That's right. That's right. So just talking a little bit about the distilleries that I had the opportunity to go to while you weren't there. I know we talked about it in long discussion. George Dickel just, and unfortunately, we're at a time right now where bourbon and whiskey production has kind of hit a wall. Um, a lot of the distilleries are not even producing right now and haven't produced since the beginning of the year. Uh, and the only one I can honestly say that is still producing is Jack Daniels.
JD!
They are all over the world. It doesn't matter what continent you're on, you can find a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Even in Antarctica.
Even in Antarctica. But with that being said, George Dickel was a great tour. Myself and our executive producer, we basically had a private tour of the facility. We were the only ones on that tour that at that time, and we got to go around and see a lot of the distilling process and the machines that they actually use. And let me tell you, a lot of that stuff is very, very vintage, and it is a very cool thing to see. I'm one of those history guys. I love history, and to be able to walk into one of these distilleries and see stuff that has been used for literally generations of whiskey making is just absolutely extraordinary. And I'll be honest, I can't before the tour, I couldn't honestly tell you if I've had George Dickel before. But we did have the opportunity at the very end to taste some good George Dickel products, and even their 15 and their 18-year-old Tennessee whiskeys that were absolutely amazing. Now their MSRP on those were yeah. I mean, you got to realize that stuff has been sitting in those barrels for a very long time, and there was a lot of evaporation. So, but they had some really great stuff, and the tour guide was awesome. So, highly recommend that one. As far as Uncle Nearest, now we did take a little trip about, I guess it was about 30 or 45 minutes north of there to Uncle Nearest. Beautiful site where the distillery is located. It's in a Tennessee it is in an area where they have walking horse farms. I didn't know walking horses was a thing, but apparently it is, and they breed some of the nicest walking horses in the world. So,
is that the same thing as the Budweiser horses?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just asking. I mean,
no, not Clydesdales. These are.
I've never heard of
these. Are very interesting. The two things that part of Tennessee is known for, that town is known for, is walking horses and pencil making. They make great number 2 pencils, from what I hear.
That don't have real lead in them no more, by the way.
Right. But beautiful area. There's the distillery is they reconfigured their horse stables and all for this property, which was really nice. The only thing is it fell really short. Like this is one of the places that Travis really wanted to go, and I'm glad that he didn't.
I am
because
too.
he would have been really disappointed. Now, if you follow anything with whiskey and bourbon, you know that they're going through a lot of hardships right now with the receivership and finances and stuff like that, which we hope somebody comes in there and kind of takes over and actually starts distilling and making some good whiskey and / bourbon.
Hold on, they make good juice. I will not take that away. I got a bottle of theirs up here right now. They really do have good juice. The thought process behind it is a little lacking.
Right. So the tour started off. We were in a dry speakeasy.
What?
A dry speakeasy. Yes, the it was dry.
Dry. That means they had no alcohol in it.
In a speakeasy, yes, it was a very beautiful. Man, if that was their tasting room, that is. I'm telling you, it was a beautiful location for a tasting room, but they've decided that it was going to remain dry, and they recognize the people within the temperance movement, and so hey, that's on them. But then we proceeded to walk around, and we really there really wasn't much to see. They've got a distillery on location, but they don't produce anything on location. They have gone in with a Tennessee Whiskey Distillers Association that's located about, I think it's about 30 miles northwest of them, where they produce their distillate that goes into the barrels. I'm not sure where they keep their barrels at, because the only rick house that we walked through was a stable that was converted into a rick house, and it was only 3 rows high. Um, the tasting room was pretty cool. It was a cool down spot for the horses in the past. And I will be honest, the juice that they produce below 100 proof is good. Everything above 100 proof though just had a very neutral smell and neutral taste to it, and I just couldn't get past that. It was just overpowering. And for the price that they wanted for those bottles is kind of a little crazy.
I agree with you.
So so then we ended up hitting up a couple of honey holes, and there are some good honey holes in Middle Tennessee. Now some of them the prices can be a little high, but I mean everywhere we went you could find allocated stuff like Buffalo Trace. You can find almost every color of the rainbow from Buffalo Trace for the Wellers. And you can find some stuff that you just cannot find here in Georgia. So it was very nice, nice to see that, and it kind of spoiled us, to be honest with you, because you see stuff around here and you're like, man, I should have pulled the trigger on that in Tennessee, and oh man, this is way too high here in Georgia, that kind of stuff. But
hold on, how much was the Weller's 107 up there, Antique 107?
So we found a store that actually had a drop, and they had a table where you could only pick one thing off the table. I ended up picking the E.H. Taylor single barrel for $100, but the Antique 107 was $79.99.
So let me put that in perspective for you. I went into a store the other day up in Athens. That same bottle, was it screw top or cork? Do you remember?
I don't know.
There's a screw top, which screw top you're paying a little bit more for. I ain't figured out why, but was $249. I left it. Another store had it for $149. I still left it. Why I want to pay double MSRP?
Yeah.
So,
and you know that's part of the fun with the hunt. My hunt may be a little different than everybody else's, but I try to hunt bottles that are pretty close to MSRP. Like I don't go out there and I don't spend 2 or 3 times MSRP on a bottle. That's just not the way I do it. You know, I wait and I wait and I wait, and then I eventually find it close, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less than MSRP, but very good. So finish up day one. We ended up at Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is just a solid tour. You just I've been on that tour probably 5 or 6 times now, and I always enjoy that tour. I've never gone on that tour and been like, man, I'm bored of listening to the same old stories or whatever. It's just very cool. Just that, just being able to walk around. Luckily, we've managed to hit it on all beautiful days.
Mm-hmm. I remember 2 years ago when we went up there.
Yeah, and the weather's been wonderful. And it's just a good, solid tour. And I would recommend anybody that has the opportunity, and they get people from all over the world too, which is crazy. Like, we had people on our tour from as far away as Australia.
From the land down under.
From the land down under.
You know what I'm gonna do? You should be listening to it right now. From the land down under.
Right. I might hit some copyright problems.
But, yeah, I figured that out.
But man, it is, like I said, it's just a solid tour. They changed the tasting room up from the last time I was there, so it was in a different location. The seats were a lot more comfortable. I will give them that. But man, I missed 2 years ago when we were sitting in the Rick House and sipping on some of that good Tennessee whiskey / bourbon.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that ended our day one, and we ended up in Nashville, out of all places. We ended up in Nashville, Tennessee, and we ate some good food, and we walked around a little bit of the boulevard while we were down there, and had a couple little places where we could find some decent tastings of some bourbon, but for the most part.
Hey, didn't you put some God and Bourbon stickers out around Nashville?
I did. Don't Kill Me, Redneck Riviera. I may have put 1 or 2 stickers there, and I may have found a couple of little places to put stickers at. So
hold on. You find a sticker, take a picture of it, put it in the comments, and Joe with RM Rose is going to send you a bottle of Founders Bourbon. Yeah, Joe, if you're listening, you owe me a bottle.
Oh, Joe.
Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Can you believe what Travis has gotten you into?
Always. That's why we love Joe.
So day 2 started out actually with one tasting. The executive producer and I ended up at Nelson's Greenbrier, and it's amazing that they have one of the more complete histories of their lineage throughout. It was a very good story / history of the facility, and how the brothers came to reopen it after years of it being closed down because of Prohibition. And Prohibition started way earlier in Tennessee and in Georgia, for that fact, than it did for the rest of the country. And so, you had a lot of these places that unfortunately shut down, went through all of their stock, and it was lost for so long. So, but very good. Their classic stuff is good, and it is made there with a kind of a hybrid. They use a pot still / column still, and so that was kind of cool to actually see. And a lot of their stuff is kind of outsourced, but they've done some finishing with their stuff, and it is actually really good stuff. So if you're able to see a bottle of it out there, please go out there and pick it up. And then we ended up meeting Travis, and there were 4 of us that ended up having a great time at Chattanooga Whiskey.
So I know the whole time you were thinking this would be a lot better if Travis was here.
Yes, it would have been a lot better. Except for Uncle Nearest. I think that Travis would have been bummed out really bad about that because he loves their stuff. But I think he would have. I think it would have. It's kind of like your favorite movie star or actor, actress, your hero and getting to meet them and being let down by them, I think you would have been really disappointed. And I'm glad that you were not able to make that trip.
He sent me a picture, and I said, "Well, I'm glad I'm not there."
Yes,
I put it to you that way. And you know what? I pulled in the Chattanooga whiskey with another brother of ours, and he decided to drive up there, and then I rode back with you and the executive producer. But I tell you what, we wound up at Chattanooga whiskey, and we tasted their fine bourbon that they had. We went through right there in downtown. They still have a spot there where you can go in and you can see they have like almost like a mini distillery going on right there.
It's their experimental.
Yeah, it's their experimental where they do. But I'm gonna tell you something. There wasn't too much, except for when you got outside of the bourbon, that I didn't like of theirs. I mean, I liked all their different flavors of bourbon, their different mash bills, stuff like that. Now, when you got into the other stuff that they had, I wasn't too.
He wasn't too crazy about some of their stuff.
Yeah.
They that location was their experimental location, and there are a lot of stuff that they're experimenting with, and it kind of takes me back to Short Barrel.
Yeah.
Short Barrel, when we went down there, they told us that there's stuff that is not good and there's stuff that is good.
Yeah.
And they release it all because they want you to know the processes that they go through. Some stuff turns out really good, some stuff turns out really bad, and so
I'm waiting to try that 100-gallon barrel they got sitting there.
Oh yeah.
And I think I took a picture of it. I might just pop it up right here while we're looking so you can see it. But they got a 100-gallon barrel there. And we got to go in the rick house, and they showed us the different from toasted all the way to char pour, the different finishes of the barrels and they use. And it was a great tour. It was a great tasting. If you got a chance, hop up there in Nashville and go look at it. But, we tasted, we talked. One thing about it is we encouraged each other.
Yeah. Oh, and for those that Andy and Joe that are listening, if they're watching,
they are.
We also saw an RM Rose porcelain bottle.
Yes, we did.
That they had on their shelves because RM Rose ended up there, and they were paying tribute to the heritage of whiskey and bourbon in Chattanooga.
But you can tell you what, when we go on these trails, and we got to do a better job next year planning our bourbon trail when we go back up into Kentucky.
Work schedules are just.
If we
didn't have to work.
If we didn't have to work, hey, well, never mind. All right, let me go back to this. But let me tell you what the trail reminds me of. Life is better when we got brothers to walk with it in.
That's right. So when we go on this kind of stuff, we're not just chasing that whiskey. We're building memories. We're strengthening our friendships, and we're reminding each other of God's faithfulness. So we're not going up there and getting crazy and partying and stuff like that. We're spending time reflecting on our friendships and just enjoying our time with each other while we're enjoying good whiskey.
And that's the heart of this episode. God creates us for brotherhood and fellowship.
So let's just go to the word for a minute.
Yep.
So Psalms 133:1 says, "Behold, how good and pleasant is it when our brothers dwell in unity."
And that's not a suggestion. It's a true blessing because unity releases something powerful in each of us.
Yes, and Proverbs 27:17, it states, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another."
While we're together, when we do these episodes or we're in a men's group, that's what we're doing. We're holding each other accountable, number one. Number two, we're there to sharpen each other. And the one thing about it is, as we get together, we are totally sharing each other's struggle, and we're there for each other. And the other word, that means that we pray for each other, we speak truth to each other, and we speak encouragement. And to be honest with you, that's what sharpening means.
Yeah. And just like Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 tells us that two are better than one. And if one falls, the other can help him up.
But
woe to the one who falls alone.
And it's like Hebrews. Hebrews 10:24-5 says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another."
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Tennessee Whiskey Trail was. It was just a backdrop. So the real thing happens, or the real thing that was happening, was fellowship. So brothers encourage brothers, spurring each other on, reminding each other that we are not alone.
And Lee, you probably just got a big thing when I got hiccups here. Sorry. One thing that these trips that we do once a year shows us, it's about brotherhood.
Yes, I mean that is intentional. We could have stayed home. We could have kept driving solo, which would have been boring.
Very.
Very but we chose to invite each other, and it made the whole trip a whole lot richer. And it's the same in life. We have to choose fellowship.
You know, for me, it reminds me I'm better as a man, a husband, a believer. When I got men in my life like you, our executive producer, which is the name that can remain unnamed,
and the other guy that was up there with us that is also in our small group.
And then I can mention Brandon's name because he's been on the episode.
Oh yeah,
and having Brandon with us, and having the other guys that's in our small group with us.
Yeah,
because we laugh together, we confess together, we hold each other accountable. Most importantly, we grow our faith together.
That's right. So if you're watching and you've been living this isolated life, you know, this is your nudge. Reach out to a brother or sister, grab a coffee, take a drive, open the Word together. You are meant, or you were never meant to walk alone.
You know what? Our step tonight is I want you right now to pause this video as soon as I tell you to. And I want you to share it with a brother who's going through something right now. Or sister. And I want you to say, you know what? I'm thinking of you. I want you to write this. I'm thinking of you. You need to listen to this because these two idiots who's sitting here drinking bourbon talking about God, because we are idiots. And I can already tell you right now, I'm waiting for some pastor on social media that's holier than thou to say, you don't go watch God and Bourbon because they're leading you into sin because they're drinking bourbon talking about God. But let me tell you something. Text somebody. Yeah. Say I love you. You don't know. There was a testimony that was shared in our discipleship group the other night, and that's what this ministry is supporting right now. It's called Discipleship, how to become a follower of Jesus. And we have mentors and we have mentees. And it was actually one of the mentors who shared this testimony. I'm not going to say a name. He was talking about committing suicide. A week, actually the day of, his sister came to him that night, or excuse me, that morning, and says, you know what? Because he was talking about committing suicide that day. I want you to go to church with me. And he heard the word, and the word said, and this was God talking, even though you could say, well, it was a man talking. But let me tell you something. It was God talking through that man. It says, you might have been talking about killing yourself. And let me tell you something. I'm going to put my glass down for this. I've been through suicide with two family members, Lee. My mother, on July the 10th, 1994, shot herself. All right. My brother, on July 30th, 2005, shot himself. What I would have done to be able for them to hear God speak to them before they decided to do that selfish act. And I will say it right now, it is a selfish act. I will tell you right now, God speaks through people. And he spoke to him. And that day, that guy gave his life back to Jesus and started following Jesus because he spoke to him. Yeah. So I'll tell you right now, no matter where you're at in your life, no matter what you're going through, God's there. He's still sitting on that bench. He's waiting for you to say, Abba, Father, and he is going to come. Yes. It's one step. If whatever you do, I don't care what you're doing right now, pause this video, send it to somebody. Because you know what? Just say, hey, get to minute 29 or minute 28. Listen to Travis talk about suicide, because you might save their life and you might bring them back into the fold.
Yes, and there's so many that shouldn't have been lost, that have been lost. So please, and if you don't know Jesus, he's the best friend, brother, father you will ever have, and he will never leave you alone.
Well, you know what? We're going to start something new. We're going to talk about let's land this plane, and we're going to land it sober, because we are sober. Even though we've been drinking bourbon, we're still sober. So, because Paul tells us to be sober minded, so that's where we're going to stay. We enjoy bourbon, but it's not about the bourbon. It's about reaching the lost. And we always have a saying here at God and Bourbon, reaching the lost one sip at a time. Yes. So I'll say this, keep sharpening each other, keep each other accountable, because even when you're held accountable, you might not want to hear it, but it's going to make you better. Lee's told me things before, and it's made me better. And I've told Lee things before that
have helped me out a lot.
So it's a brotherhood, and so let's do it. So Lee, you ready to go in prayer?
I am.
All right, let's do it. Ready?
Yeah.
You want to pray this one, or you want me to pray?
Lord, please look out for each of us, brothers and sisters. Just strengthen our souls and mold us into the people that you want us to be. And for those who are looking, at different ways out, just reach out to them, whether through a family member, a friend, through us, and tell them that there is somebody that loves them and somebody that will miss them, and give them the strength to turn back away from those wicked ways. And Lord, just give us the strength to keep on carrying on our ways, and to help just reaching out and helping everyone just come to know you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So, Lee, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. We love each and every one of the listeners who listen to us. Keep walking with God. Keep pouring something worth talking about. And you know what? Go find your brothers.
Yeah, and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you guys, whether in the comments or on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you and carry on the conversations. And if there's a topic you'd like for us to talk about in the future, or if there's a bourbon or anything like that you would like for us to taste that you have found, let us know.
And you know what? Let's close out. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, if you need to reach Lee at revfrankweb.org. If you want to reach out to Travis, reach out to Travis at revfrankweb.org. Yeah. But other than that, see you next time on God and Bourbon, where we're reaching the lost
one sip at a time.
Until next time, we'll see you on God and Bourbon. Stay faithful and stay together. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you for listening to God and Bourbon. I'm Travis, joined by my co-host Lee. We hope this message encouraged you, challenged you, and pointed you closer to Jesus. If this episode spoke to you, please like, share, and follow on wherever you're listening or watching. Also, take a moment to share this episode with a friend who may need to hear it. If you need prayer, we'd be honored to pray for you. You can email us at prayer@revfrankweb.org. We also like to thank Eric Bulletin for providing the music today. Are You Forgiven? And a special thanks to our sponsor, Cork and Keg, located at the corner of Cut Road and Highway 53 in Braselton, Georgia. Until next time, this is Travis with God and Bourbon. We're reaching the lost one sip at a time.